Hey everybody, welcome back. Todd here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about motorcycle seat cushions. I've got the Harley-Davidson Sport Glide, and you hear a lot of comments about how people hate that standard seat, but frankly I like this seat. But once you've been on it for more than an hour or so, that's where you really start to fidget or whatever. So I looked at buying a new seat, replacing it, but I came across this as a great alternative. I think when you hear this, it might change your mind about changing your seat. So come on with me and let's jump into this thing. Okay, here's my stock seat from my Sport Glide. A couple of things that I really like about it. Number one, it's a 2-up. And when you start looking at replacing this with some of the other options that are out there, what you run into is the pillion section is way fatter. It comes way up here. And I don't like what that does to the profile of the bike for sure. I've got a rack on the back of mine, a luggage rack that I just leave on there. And if I go to that tall pillion in the back, it's gonna mess things up for that for sure. I also like the width of this seat. You know, it doesn't put pressure points on the inside of my legs through here. I can sit this seat quite well. What you run into when you get into some of the other seats is it gets much wider across here, and it's wider than through here as well, and it starts to put more pressure on the inside of your thighs. And after a while, when I was road testing those, I could feel that, you know. So, and it changes the position of where your feet end up on your pegs. You know, the Sport Glide has those forward pegs. So, you know, it's not just a matter of it gives you a better cushion. You start messing around with these seats and it plays with a lot of the dynamics of how you sit the bike. So the one thing that I do know is I really like the way I sit the bike when I'm riding this. As I said, after about an hour or more, certainly you get out to 2 hours, you're feeling it. You're fidgeting around. You're just feeling it. So that's what sent me on a mission to figure out what my options are. So let's jump into this seat cushion and I'll show you what I've learned with that. Before we jump in too deeply to all the features, let's talk a little bit about the company behind the product. This is a small company that's based out of Pennsylvania here in the United States, and they've put a lot of testing into these seat cushions. These are guys that ride motorcycles. It was developed by people that ride to solve a problem, which is really the best kinds of products are born that way, right? Let's go ahead and take the cushion out of here. It's just got a Velcro strip right here. That opens up, and it allows you to pull your cushion right out of there. This then is the heart and soul of the seat cushion. What you're looking at there is viscoelastic polymer, and that's the cushioning behind the seat pad. So this is a product that was originally developed for hospitals to prevent bed sores in patients. So what the company did is take the product, take that viscoelastic polymer, and they re-engineered it to use in a motorcycle seat cushion to, just like in hospitals and trying to alleviate bed sores, is you're trying to alleviate pressure points and increase circulation. And that's what this seat cushion does. So the dry polymer core in the butt buffer never does fully compress, and that's going to then remove those pressure points that develop from sitting for long periods of time, right? And without having the pressure points, that's going to take the soreness away. So the benefit of this seat cushion is that by never fully compressing, you always have blood flow, you don't have the numbness, you don't have the soreness that comes on those long rides. One question that might come up is that, you know, can this get punctured? Can this leak? The answer is no. Because it's made from a solid elastic material, it's not going to leak like a liquid or gas-based seat cushion. And unlike a gel product, it's not going to freeze either in cold temperatures. You can see how thin it is, so that when you put this inside of the airflow pad that goes on it, which promotes airflow throughout the pad, so now not only do you have the cushion of the product, but you've got airflow as well, so you're not going to have a moist seat while you're sitting there. The whole thing put together is only going to add about a ½ an inch at the most to your seat height, so you're not going to be getting all top heavy by sitting way up there. You look at some of these other seat cushions and they add quite a bit of height to your seat. This is only going to add about a ½ an inch total to the seat height. It's very easy to clean. What the company recommends is that you hit this with like a Scotch Guard material or what have you, but simply pull this out. You can wipe this down and then maybe use an automobile or an automotive upholstery cleaner on this if you really get something on it that you need to try to get a spot off it or something like that. But super easy to clean it and care for it. Okay, I'll put this back together and let's take it over and put it on the bike. Okay, so you can see that you've got a strap that comes on the bottom of this, and then there's a Velcro strip right here, okay? So the first things first, this will go around your seat and buckle. And I'll show you that installation here just in a minute. But you can also take the buckles off and just put the Velcro right down here. The bottom of this has rubberized pebbles on it, and those hold right to your seat. You can see it doesn't slide around. So now it's got a hump in it right here because it's got those buckles under there at the moment, but if you remove those, that'll sit just like that, and that'll work just fine. And then if you get to your destination, you can pull it off and stick it right in your saddlebags if you're concerned that somebody might swipe it. This comes in a variety of different sizes. Now this happens to be a size medium for this motorcycle. That's a perfect fit. So they also make a small for the pillion. Obviously rider comfort's important, but so is passenger comfort. And whether you're on a bike like this that's more of a cruiser, or you're going to be on a touring bike, you can set those seat cushions up that way. And again, they come with sizes for all makes and models of motorcycles. So one other thing to mention on this seat cushion is that product in there really makes a big difference. It's helping a lot of people alleviate lower back pain because it takes a lot of the vibration and jarring out of your ride, and that makes a big difference on that lower back. So not only will it help give you a more comfortable ride in your seat, but if you're one of those people that's experiencing lower back pain, this can go a long ways to helping that as well. Okay, so you can see that we have the pad on the bike. It's been installed. The strap goes right underneath and it fits it on nice. You can see that if you wanted to, you can reposition it a little bit. If you wanted to scooch it forward, push it back a little bit. Either way, it really stays right in place. Now I've got about 500 miles on this, and I can tell you I'm sold. It's made a huge difference. I'm one of those people with the lower back pain after a long ride, and this has really completely taken my lower back pain and brought it down to minimal amount, and it really makes a difference. I no longer fidget and I'm moving around, after an hour, 2 hours. I've ridden several hours on this and was perfect. So, I think it's a great solution if you're like me and you like your standard seat, but on a long ride or whatever, you want an option. Here you go. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I really appreciate you tagging along with me today, and I hope that you'll hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and then we'll see you on the next one.